guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with an update from my shop My Stash. I'm going to talk about the 5 products that I've been working on over the past month, and I'm also going to roll in some new products for May. But before we jump into any of that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just start talking about the products that I have been working on over the month of April. So the first product that I had in my shop My Stash this month is an eyeshadow, and I do have it in my single palette because it is a single from MAC. And the shade that I pulled from my shop My Stash this month is the shade Patina, which is this kind of satiny shade, which is right here. It's definitely a cool toned shade, and it has like it has some yellow tones to it, but also like almost a pinky shift. But obviously it's very subtle. I wouldn't say it's a dupe or anything. It's just like a very kind of dimensional satin shade. This is a shade that I've been kind of debating for a long time to declutter, or if I wanted to keep it. And I thought it was great to pull this from my shop My Stash because of that, so I could try it out a bit more and see if I wanted to keep this in my collection. And this past month I have only used it twice actually, and the first time I used it all over my lid and kind of blended it out, because that's what I imagined this would be for me, like a one and done eye look with just this one shade and wear it that way. I liked how it looked, but also nowadays I do wear bolder looks than that, clearly, as you can see today. And I feel like with this one it was just not something that I could see myself reaching for, and at that point I was kind of ready to declutter it. But then I had a thought that I could maybe try to use this as a crease color, because since it is a satin, I usually don't swatch things on my wrap up, but you can see it here on my fingers. There's not really much sheen to it. It's, like I said, a satin, but it does have a little slight bit of a sheen. But I thought it might work as a crease shade, so one day I did use it as a crease shade as well, and I actually quite like how that looked. It is like a cool toned eyeshadow, but like you can see there has some yellow tones to it as well, so it doesn't become like too grey, or it doesn't lean purple or mauvey. So I do quite like it, and after using it as a crease shade, I feel like I do actually want to keep it in my collection, because I don't really have that many cool toned transition shades, and this one is quite a unique tone. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to keep it for now, but obviously if I don't reach for it in the next year or so, I probably will declutter it at the end of this year. The next item that I have is a liquid liner, and this one is from KVD Beauty. You can't really see because it is all completely rubbed off, all the text, all the packaging, like kind of print and everything, but this is the tattoo liner in black. And this one I used 3 times over the past month. It is a brush tip. It looks like this. I'm sure most of you have already seen this before because it's quite a popular liquid liner. Like I said, I used this 3 times, and that's not that many times, but I am also panning a black eyeshadow in my Pan palette, and I did kind of alternate those two when I wanted to do a liner, like a liquid liner, because what I've been doing with my palette is actually mixing that black eyeshadow with Duraline and create a liner that way. And I just didn't want to sacrifice the uses on my Pan palette too much by using this. And my kind of main point with using this in my shop My Stash was just to see if it was still good, because it is getting a little bit older in my collection, and I don't really reach for liquid eyeliners on an everyday basis, or quite often, like at all. I do like kind of more blown out looks like today, or just like shimmery looks. I don't really reach for a liquid liner on a regular basis. So that's kind of the point with this one, and it is still good. I liked wearing it the 3 times I wore it. It looked fine, it didn't smudge. It was one day that all my eyes were watering quite a bit, and this doesn't really last throughout that, but other than that it was great, and I don't think this is bad yet, so I am going to keep it in my collection and reach for it when I do feel the need for a liquid liner. So next up we have the 3 lip products that I pulled in for this shop My Stash last month. It was quite a lip heavy month, and I feel like I had quite a few lip heavy months recently, which is a bit annoying because I'm panning quite a few different lip products in different projects. But the first product that I pulled in is a MAC lipstick, and this is in the shade Costa Chic, which is one of their frost finishes, and this is what the lipstick looks like. You can see it's quite a bright shade. I would say it's like a coral shade with like almost like a pinky shift to it, like a pinky blue shift. But even though it is a frost, it's definitely not one of MAC's super frosty lipsticks. I quite like wearing this because it's not too intense. It just creates more dimension on the lips. So I like this, and I wore it 2 times over the past month, which I'm quite happy with because, like I said, I'm panning quite a few other lip products, and it is a nice shade, but I usually reach for this more when I do have a tan, which I don't have yet. So yeah, it wasn't my favorite shade to reach for, although it is getting a bit warmer outside. But 2 uses on this, and I am keeping this in my collection. The next shade is the one that I've reached for the least over the past month, and that is my liquid lipstick from Maybelline. This is one of their Super Stay Matte inks in the shade Romantic. So you can see right here that this is like a blue toned, or maybe you can't see, but like this is like a blue toned pinky shade. It's quite a bright shade, and I only actually reached for this once over the past month, and reason for that is because I'm panning quite a similar shade. I think it is in my 2021 project, and I just again didn't want to hinder that progress by using this shade, so I just wanted to try out the formula to see if it was still good. And I did also have the shade Heron from the same line recently as well, which I tried out. Used to try like the formula more to see if I liked it, and I do quite like this formula, which I already knew I did. But I just wanted to try this shade as well, so I used it once and I like it, but it's not a shade that I reach for too often anymore. But at the moment I do still want to keep this in my collection. And then we are finishing on a high note. The next product is the one that I used the most over the past month, and that is my Chanel Rouge Allure lipstick in the shade Pimpante. This one I used 4 times, so again not too much, but like I keep repeating myself, I am panning quite a few different products in different projects. This one is like a peachy nude, you can see it right there, and I do really like this, especially this time of year, and it was easy to reach for. But I have been reaching for more cool tone looks as well in the past month, which is also why I didn't reach for this more than 4 times. But kind of, I wouldn't say every time I reach for warm toned eye look, but quite often I did reach for this one with it, and that is why I have 4 uses. So those were the items that I've been working on in this project over the past month, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and roll in some new items. So I have my laptop down here, and I actually spent some time last night updating my spreadsheet for my Shop My Stash, and I currently have 494 products to pull from. So I am going to go to my pretty random app, and I'm going to put in 1 to 494. So we have my random number generator right here, and we're gonna go ahead and randomize, and the first shade we got is 142, or not shade but item we got. So let's see what that is. Okay, so I'm very excited about this item because it's actually one of my Cleona shades, which is also what I'm wearing on my eyes today. Today I'm wearing the shade Trefoil, which is one of their jeweled multichromes, and I'm hoping you may be able to pick up, but it goes from like a green to a blue, and it's absolutely stunning. But the Cleona eyeshadow that I rolled in this 442 is the shade Majesty, which is from the Vibrant multichrome line, and I'm very excited to play with that because it is relatively new to my collection. The second item we're gonna get is 175, which might also be a Cleona shade. No, it's not, but it is a Glam Shop eyeshadow, which is also, it's not as new, but it is also relatively new to my collection. And 175 is the shade Stos. It's SZTOS. So that's the second shade I'm gonna roll in. We have 2 single eyeshadows, which are both relatively new in my collection, which is really exciting. So let's see what the third item will be, and that is gonna be 286. So 286 is actually an item that I'm panning currently. It is my Hoola bronzer from Benefit. So I'm going to go ahead and re-roll because I don't think it's any fun working on something that I'm already working on a different project. So we got 259. Okay, so 259 is my California blush from Benefit. It's one of their box powders, and I do have it in a mini size, and it's a really bright kind of coral pink, so, or like a corally orangey pink, which I think is going to be really great now for the month of May when it's getting warmer, so I'm excited to work on that. The fourth item will be number 63, which it's definitely an eyeshadow again. It's probably a single eyeshadow because I don't think it's going to be a palette. So let's see what that is. Okay, so the number 63 is one of my NYX singles. This is actually potted from the In Your Element Air palette, and I just call it silver because it is like a silvery shade, and they didn't have any names in the original palette. So that is going to be the fourth item, and the very final item we're going to pull in for my Shop My Stash this month is going to be number 326. Okay, so 326 is actually my first and only lip product this month, which is quite good. I did mention that I've been quite lip product heavy this month, or like in the past couple months. So it's quite nice having something different, and I did get my wish that way. But the one lip product that we got is one of my lipsticks from Colourpop in the shade Poppin'. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather those 5 items, and I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 5 products right here. Let's see, let's start with the eyeshadows because I have 3 eyeshadows and they all fit in my C palette right here, so let's just go through them. The first one that I have is this shade right here, which is actually a pressed glitter. I didn't realize when I was looking for my spreadsheet because I do have them mixed in with my other Glam Shop shadows. So this is the shade Stos, S-Z-T-O-S again, and it's like I said, like a pressed glitter, and it goes from like a green to like a warm brown to like a bluish purple. I'm hoping you can see that there. I'm gonna swatch it, but it's gonna be messy because it is, like I said, a pressed glitter. So there you have it on my finger, and I think maybe you will be able to pick up some of the shifts, but I'm obviously gonna switch it as well on my hand. And there you have the glitter on my hand. I think you can definitely see the shift in there, and it's such a reflective shade. I'm very excited to play with this and see how this pressed glitter performs on the eyes, because I haven't played around with the pressed glitters on the eyes from Glam Shop yet. And yeah, it's just a really stunning shade, so I think this is going to be really fun to reach for. The second eyeshadow that I pulled in is the silver from NYX, and like I said, this is originally from the In Your Element Air palette. And yeah, this is just like a straight up silver, as you can see right here. It's not super metallic, but I think this will work nicely as either a lid shade or possibly as an inner corner shade. It might be a bit deep, but we'll see, and I will play with that. So that is the second shade. And there you can see that silver shade. Yeah, it's just a regular silver, nothing special. Then the one that I'm probably the most excited about, tied with the Glam Shop shade, is the shade Majesty from Cleona. It's this vibrant multichrome right here, and it's just like beautiful kind of orange base with a gold, and might even have some like purple in it. I'm not sure, but it's a stunning shade. I have worn this I think once since I picked it up, and yeah, you have it there. It's a beautiful eyeshadow. And then this one, you can definitely see the, I think the yellow and then maybe even green shift on camera, and then it goes to that bright really bold orange as well. So those are the shades that I'm going to work on that are eyeshadows. Let's just talk about the last 2 items as well, and those are these 2 right here. Let's go ahead and go with the blush first. This one is the California blush from Benefit, and like I said, I only have the mini, but it's such a bright shade, as you can see right there. It is maybe a bit more orange than I remember, but it's definitely like a coral shade, and it's super stunning for summer. So I think it's gonna be a really nice shade to reach for now when the weather is getting a bit warmer, and you can see it there on my finger if you can. I think it's so bright that my camera can't even pick it up, but it's actually quite a powdery shade, and I don't know if that's because it's the mini blush, but it is a stunning blush shade nevertheless, and I think it's gonna, like I said, be really perfect to reach for this time of year. Then the final item that I have is my lipsticks from Colourpop, and this is in the shade Poppin', which is one of the Matte X formulas. All of the lipsticks that I have from Colourpop are the Matte X formula, and this is probably the least summery or least seasonal appropriate shade that I pulled, because it's like a deep kind of again blue toned pink shade, and it's relatively similar to Romantic, but obviously a different formula, and I would say maybe a bit deeper as well. But there you have that swatch, and that is the color story that I'm going to work on for the month of May. So I must say this is probably my favorite selection of items that I've pulled so far in my Shop My Stash. I think like having those 2 shifty shades is going to be really exciting to play with, and I think I'm going to reach for them a bit because they are both new to my collection and very kind of exciting. The silver, I think I'm gonna try to use it a bit. It depends on what I'm panning, because like I said, I'm panning quite a few eyeshadows. and it might interfere with some of them, but yeah, that's gonna be nice. And then we have the two final products, which is the blush and the lipstick, but I think it's gonna be kind of, I'm gonna reach for them, but especially the lipstick might be a bit difficult to reach for because similar reasons why I didn't reach for most of the lipstick last month. But yeah, I'm very excited about this color story and the items that I pulled. But that, you guys, is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I am very excited about the items that I pulled, and I think next up is going to be really exciting. But I really hope you're having a lovely day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.